All right, let's get right into it. So this is my 2008 Jeep JK. Pretty sure they're the same top right till 2020, 2021. They didn't really change much, but we bought a Bestop and it was expensive. And I'm gonna let you know if I think it's worth it. Bestop. So I think we can all agree, these are a great looking top. And their convenience factor, just flip open, flip closed. You're not messing around with freedom panels. If you've owned a Jeep long enough, you've had the panels off, you've came around a corner, there's a wall of rain, run into some bad weather, you're scrambling to get these freedom panels back on. It's just a pain. This Bestop, you can still be going 50K and roll that top back down, lock it into place. You don't even have to stop. This thing is awesome. Convenience factor, that's the selling feature of this thing. It is just so nice to use, so convenient. So let's show you how easy it is to clip into place. Let's hop in here. So I'm sitting in the driver's seat. Just reach up, flip her down. You do have to move the sun visors out of the way, but you just have two main clips. Sun visors back in place. And that's it. She is locked down. You can operate these clips with the visors in place, but it's a little on the tight side. You can kind of see it starts to scuff a little bit. You kind of have to have the visor just at the right angle. You can see it just touches. And same with this one. It just clicks. You can still do it. But very convenient. So convenience factor, 10 out of 10. 11 out of 10. Like, that's why people buy these things. They are awesome. Very convenient. But they do have their downsides as well. Fit and finish. So if you look at this weather strip up top here, this is the factory weather strip. You can see it is chewing it up in places. Right here as well. And I'll show you what that's from. So when you flip this guy back down into place, it's got these knobs on it. And I've tried to adjust this multiple times, but it's got those little knobs you can see right there. And it's just enough to kind of wreck those weather strips over time. Surprisingly enough, it doesn't leak water there at all. So even though the seal is compromised a little bit, it still seals completely. Let's go to the top side. So up top, still has a nice tight seal. The exterior of the weather strip isn't compromised. It doesn't leak anything along the front. So visually, the fit and finish does look pretty good. But if you do have heavy rain, consistent heavy rain, you probably will notice a little bit of water getting in just at the top of the door here. So like I said before, this is a 2008. The seals are a little old, everything's a little old, but the factory freedom panels, they come down a little bit further towards the door, and I think that's kind of the ticket that seals these door corners a little bit better. The Bestop comes with this rail that you add on, and it doesn't come all the way to the end. And just kind of the fit and finish on the edges here, that's where you're gonna see your water leak. Yeah, you can see that's the Bestop rail there. So yeah, right on these edges here. So you'll get a little bit of water coming in here, kind of running down the door. And if it rains hard enough for long enough, you'll see a little bit of water down by your floor mat. And like I said, I've tried to adjust these things too. I got the driver's side pretty good. It doesn't really leak that much. But this passenger side is the bad side. I don't know if it's just because this material's pretty thick and coarse and it doesn't really seal around the door piece that well. It doesn't come down far enough. But that's one of the main issues that we've had. And our summers are pretty short. We don't get a lot of rain. So does it really bother me? No, not really. I think it's worth it still. But that is the biggest downside of the Bestop. Now they do make different versions of this Bestop as well. This is the most expensive one. They have different material. This is thicker, it's supposed to be more rugged. It's expensive though. I think this one was around 1,500 bucks shipped. They do have a cheaper version around that $1,000 mark. But it might be a little bit more flexible. It might seal better. But this is their top of the line one, they say, and it still leaks. So does it leak water? Yes. Is the seal good enough? For dusty roads, gravel roads, you're gonna be wheeling your Jeep. Obviously you want it to be clean inside as much as you can. It does seal dust-wise very well. You don't have to worry about that. Winter performance is always a question as well. It seals very well in the winter. Jeep heats up nice, you're not losing heat, nothing like that. The only downside is that water leak. One other thing I wanted to touch on is wind noise. If you've got a Jeep, you know they like to whistle. These front bumpers are bad. A lot of wind noise from that. As far as the top goes, it's quiet, open or closed. You don't get any wind whistles, nothing like that. It's not annoying. You're not gonna wanna use it on the highway. Like if you're going highway speeds, it's not really a whistle or anything like that, but just the noise in general. Not from the top, just it's the same with the Freedom panels. But yeah, like the bumper makes a lot more wind noise than the actual top does. So you don't have to worry about anything like that. So to install this thing, it does take a little bit of effort. It'll probably take you an hour or so, maybe 2 if you're taking your time. Because those rails up top, they're a little bit to adjust. And just getting the fit and finish as best as possible to try and prevent these leaks from happening. It does take a little bit of time, but this thing is worth it. If you're on the fence about buying this just because of the price, we thought about it for a year or two. Like, we put a lot of thought into this and we do not regret it. It's expensive, the initial purchase, but you get so much joy out of it. We use it twice as much, the convenience factor. It is amazing. I would 100% recommend it. On those kind of cold days, you don't know if the weather's gonna blow in quick. You're still popping that top off. You got the heat blasting in the Jeep. It's just, it gives you this feeling. It's just awesome to use. Use it every day. It doesn't matter what the weather's like. If it's not raining at that very moment, use it. There's no downside. And if it does start to rain, just roll the top back on. You don't even have to stop. Away you go. You don't have to think about it. Another upside is space. With those factory Freedom panels, you're always looking for space in the back of your Jeep. And if you're anything like us, you have a stereo in the back. These two-door Jeeps don't really have a lot of real estate, so that's a huge selling feature. Not taking up a ton of spare space that we have very little of. There's even been sunny days in the winter we'll use it just because it's so easy. It's awesome. This thing is great. So my advice, if you've been thinking about it for a while, do it. I can't speak for the cheaper version, but we spent the good money, the thicker, better quality, and we do not regret it. This thing is a beast. And I talked about those water leaks a little bit. It's a bit of a pain, but at the end of the day, it is pretty minor. And the use we get out of it is 100% worth it. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We've owned this Jeep for 7 years, something like that. And we've had this top for 3-4 years. And honestly, after buying the top, we enjoyed the Jeep so much more. Like, we should have did it from day one. We really should have. Just bite the bullet, guys. It is worth it. You will love it, hands down. No question about it. Do it.